So good afternoon everyone. 11th class, chapter 8, journal, and we were doing special entry, and today we will be doing opening entry. Okay, this is also the very important question, a very important topic, opening entry. So opening entry, you know that total life of the business is divided in smaller time intervals, and normally the one time interval contains 12 months. The 12 month is known as accounting year for that business. It is of two type. Accounting year is of two type, calendar year and financial year. In basic terms, I have told you this concept. Calendar year begins from 1st January and ends on 31st December. And financial year begins from 1st April and ends on 31st March. So it is up to the business that which year it has to adopt. And for that period, and normally the corporate sector, companies and banks are adopting the financial year, and sole proprietor may choose the year, whether he is going to opt for the calendar year or for the financial year. But most of the businessmen are opting for financial year. So at the end of the every accounting period, they need to close the books of that particular year. And in the beginning of the next accounting period, they need to start again the books of account. They need to make a new set of books of account, means journal, ledger, everything will be prepared again for the next year transactions. So every year we must be having some closing balances. Okay, we will be having some closing balances at the end of the year. Balances of all assets and liabilities. You have seen that the balance sheet we are preparing, and in balance sheet we are having assets, liabilities and capital. So all these three things will be having their closing balances. And I have already told you that the balances of 1 year, closing balances of 1 year will be becoming the opening balances of the next year. So at that time, in the every next year, in the beginning of the journal, very first entry will be done. That entry will be known as opening entry. And this entry is done only with the closing balances of the previous year. Okay, closing balances of previous year. And those closing balances of previous year becomes the opening balances of current year. Like in the last year, we were having buildings valued at rupees 5 lakh. So this is the closing balance of the previous year. Now in the coming year or in the current year, this will be the opening balance of the building. Like last year, we were having stock costing, closing stock costing rupees 50,000. So in the current year, that will become the opening stock of rupees 50,000. Value will remain same. Only the closing balances will become the opening balances. So the closing balances are those balances with which we are closing our books at the end of the year. And opening balances are those balances with which we are starting our books of account for the current year. So these are the opening balances. Now we need to pass the opening entry in the journal with all these closing balances of the previous year. So whenever you need to pass the opening entry, in question itself, the closing balances will be given. Like here, you can see in the PPT, closing balances are given here in example. Like for example, the following balances appeared in the books of Gopal as on 1st January, 1st April 2020. So these are, wait a minute. Yes. So these are the closing balances of the previous year. And now you have to begin your books of account with these balances. So this year, these balances will be known as opening balances. And with all these opening balances, you will be starting your journal by passing the entry, which is known as opening entry. So opening entry is the entry which is passed in the books of account of the current year in the beginning of each year with the closing balances of the previous year. The previous year closing balances becomes the opening balances of the current year, and with all those balances, the first entry, very first entry in the journal is started every year with the opening entry. Because if the business is an old business, then it must be having some closing balances. With that closing balances, the journal will be started. So in that opening entry, how it is passed. So first of all, it is passed on the very first day. So the first day of the new year is 1st April 2020. Suppose we are passing the entry for the, and the closing balances must be given for 31st March 2020. All those balances which are shown in the balance sheet of 31st March 2020 are the closing balances. And for this year, they will be becoming the opening balances. Okay. Now how to pass the opening entry? Particulars and ledger folio, need not to fill this column. Rupees, this is for debit and this is for credit. All the assets will be debited in the opening entry, and capital and liabilities will be credited. This is the method in which we have to pass the opening entry. Why assets are debited? Because assets have debit balance. And why the liabilities and capitals are credited? Because they have credit balance. So that's why in the opening entry, all the assets are debited and all the liabilities are credited. So it is passed together like this. You can see that in this question, assets are given separately. Individual assets are given. Cash rupees 8,000. So I'm starting with the opening entry. I'm writing all the, yes, I'm writing all the assets. So first asset is cash. So I'm writing just like this, cash account debit. All the individual assets will be written. Then bank balance. So I need to write only bank account debit. Then stock account debit. All the assets will be debited individually. Then debtors. The name of the debtors are given individually. So we need to debit all the debtors individually, because for every debtor, we are having a separate account. So Ashok debit. All the debtors are the asset. So these will be debit. Pawan debit. Vivek debit. And machine. One more asset we are having. That is the machinery. First of all, we have to write all the assets name. So machinery account debit. Now write the amount. Cash is debited with 8,000. Debited with 8,000. Bank is with 20,000. Stock is with 54,000. Write the amount, same amount which is given in the question. Ashok is with 12,000. And Pawan is with 15,000. Then Vivek is with 20,000. Then machinery account is debited with 60,000. So we have debited all the assets. Now credit all the liabilities. 2. So liabilities are given creditors. 2 creditors. Name of the creditor is given. So we need to write the name separately. If no name is given, then we can write the term creditors. Okay. So 2 names are given here. To Chamanlal is the liability, means creditor. Then to Ompal, these 2 are the creditors. So Chamanlal is credited with 7,000 and Ompal is credited with 13,000. Okay. Now the capital. Capital is given 2 lakh. Okay, you can see in the, just a minute, wait a minute. Yes, capital is given 2,000, 2 lakh. Yes, capital is given 2 lakh. So capital is also credited. So I'm writing here 2 capital. Here it is of 2 lakh. Now this is the opening entry, but it's not completed. So after passing this entry, you can see that in this entry, all the assets, these are the assets, all the assets are debited, and these are the liabilities. These 2 are the external liability and this is internal liability. Already we have done in basic terms, external and internal liability. So liabilities are credited. Okay, because liabilities have credit balance, capital also has credit balance. That's why these are credited. Now, before closing this entry, we need to find out whether the debit total is equal to the credit total. So we need to do the total. So just find out the total of both side and tell me. You can see that in credit side, the total is 2,20,000. In credit side total, it is 220, 2 lakh 7 plus 13. Now just find out the total of debit side and please tell me. Find out the total of debit side and tell me. So this is 60,000, 60 plus 20, 80, 80 plus 20, 1 lakh, 1 lakh 8,000. Yes, yes, very good, very good. Don't consider goodwill. I have not told anything about goodwill, Ankita. So please consider what I am telling. Don't see the solution from book, please. Goodwill is not given in the question itself. So that's why I have not told you about goodwill. I will be telling you, but in the later part. So first of all, you have to just do the totaling of all the assets. I have already done the totaling of liabilities, 2,20,000. So what is the totaling of assets? Yes, please tell me. Totaling of assets. Yes, I'm waiting for your answer. 1,89,000. Very good, Ramesh Jalan. So the totaling of all the asset is 1,90,000. But we are following the principle of double accounting. It means debit total must be equal to credit total. So if our liabilities and capital is more than the assets, in most of the cases, these two will be equal every time. Because if it is 220, then it must be 220. Because in accounting equation also, we have learned that assets is equal to C plus L. But if this balance is not matching, then the balancing figure will be there, and that balancing figure will be known as goodwill. If our liabilities and capital is more than the assets, then on the debit side we will be having one hidden asset. Then hidden asset is known as goodwill. It means the excess value is just because of goodwill. So the difference of 220 and 189 will be equal to 31,000, and this 31,000 will be known as goodwill. And why I have written here B slash F, it means balancing figure. It means this asset was not given in the question. Okay, we have find out this asset by doing balancing. Balancing means subtracting the lesser side from the greater side is known as balancing in accounts. Okay, so this side total is 220 and this side total is 189. So we need to subtract 189 from 220 and the balancing figure is 31,000. That balancing figure is known as goodwill. Okay, this is known as goodwill. So after passing the entry, you will be knowing that whether there is goodwill, or not. If there is balancing figure, then there is goodwill. If no balancing figure, then there is no goodwill. The reverse situation may be there. What is the reverse situation? The asset side may be more and the liability side may be less. In that case, the balancing figure will come on the liability side and it will be known as capital reserve. But in 11th class, there may be never capital reserve. Mostly in the transactions, there will be goodwill. So reserve, when we will be doing reserve chapter, then I will be telling you the meaning of capital reserve. Here you can just learn that if the balance in the opening entry is coming on the debit side, then the balance will be goodwill. And if the balance is coming on the liability side, credit side, then the balance will be capital reserve. Both cannot be there together. Only one will be there, either goodwill or capital reserve. So if liabilities are greater than assets, then there will be goodwill. You can write this equation. And if liabilities are less than asset, then there will be the concept of capital reserve. There will be the concept of capital reserve. And out of these two, what is there? This thing you can know only after doing the totaling of both sides. Okay, so first of all, the procedure for writing the opening entries, first of all, you need to debit all the assets. all the assets, whatever the assets are given. Then you need to credit all the liabilities, including capital. Then after doing this process, you need to do the find out the balance. If the balance is coming on the debit side, then it will be goodwill, and you need to write the B/F, which means balancing figure. If the balance is coming on the credit side, means debit side is more than credit side, then it will be known as capital reserve, and again you need to write along with this balancing figure. So both the accounts cannot be there simultaneously. Only one account will be there, either goodwill or capital reserve. Now please tell me, am I clear with this opening entry? Yes. Am I clear? Okay. So next special entry is, I'm going to the next topic, next special entry. Then we will do one complete question for all those topics which I am covering today. Okay. So bad debts already we have done. Then the next entry is the purchase and sale of asset entries. Today we will be doing. Then bad debts recovered already we have done. Outstanding expenses also we have done. Prepaid expenses also. Depreciation, interest on capital. One entry is left here, that is the interest on drawing. Just write the special entry, interest on drawing. Special entry for today, interest on drawings. So there may be two entry for this, and any one entry you can use, both are correct. Okay. Interest on drawing means when the drawings are made by the proprietor for the personal use, either he has withdrawn the goods or he has used the cash, then he has to pay interest on drawings. So that interest will be paid by the owner, proprietor, to the business. So for business, we have to record the transaction in the books from business point of view, not the owner's point of view. So consider the business point of view. Interest on drawing is an income for the business or expense for the business. Interest on drawing is received by the business from the businessman. So please consider, is it income or expense? Very good, Ankita. Yes, it's an income. So one account in this transaction will be interest on drawings. Yes, very good everyone. Shruti, Khushi, very good. It's income. So that is an income. And income is increasing. So whenever income increases, it is debited or credited. Yes, income is increased. It is debited or credited. Yes, very good. So it will be credited. The other account may be drawings or capital. Both are correct. Either you can write drawings because interest on drawing is paid on drawing, so it will become the part of drawing ultimately. Or you may write capital. Why? Because the businessman needs to pay to business. So whatever businessman is going to receive from business, that will be added in the capital, and whatever he is going to pay to the business, that will be subtracted from the capital. So capital account you may use or the drawing you may use. So if it is that is subtracted from the capital, then the capital is decreases. When the capital is decreasing, then it is, please tell me, debited or credited? Yes, when the capital is decreasing, yes, it is debited. And I have also given you one trick. If you have identified the one account, it is to be credited, then it is understood the other account involved in the transaction will be definitely debited, because every transaction has two aspects, debit and credit. If already you have identified credit aspect, then it means the other aspect will be debited. So the journal entry will be drawings account / capital account. It's up to you, whatever you want you can write. Capital account debit to interest on drawing. So it's just the opposite entry of interest on capital. In interest on capital, I told you interest on capital account debit to capital. So interest on drawing is the opposite of the interest on capital. And the amount must be given in the question. Suppose it is 500. So, and narration will be interest on drawing charged. Interest on drawing charged. That's it. Yes. Am I clear with this entry? Interest on drawing is an income. That's why it is credited. Income. Incomes are always credited. And with this interest on drawing, drawings will be increased. drawings will be increased or capital will be decreased. Drawing is an expense. If drawings are increased, it is debited. Capital, the nature of capital is capital, and if capital is decreased, it is debited. So any one account you can use for doing this entry. Okay. So I'm going for the next entry, next topic, next special entry rather. Two entries we have already done. Yes, expenditure on installation of machinery and on the erection of building. Yes. So I told you in basic term chapter that expenditure is of two types, revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. So revenue expenditure becomes the part of profit and loss account, and in this case that particular expenditure will be debited. Like you have paid salary. So salary you are going to pay on a decided interval. It may be 15 days, it may be after 1 month, it may be after 2 months. So very frequently or on a regular basis you have to pay salary. So that is a revenue expenditure. So in that case salary account will be debited. Okay. Capital expenditure means you are purchasing any asset. So in that case, that particular asset account will be debited. Let's take an example. Suppose you have purchased a machine. Costing rupees 5 lakh. Okay, 5 lakh. And then you have paid transportation charges because the seller transported machine to your factory and you were supposed to pay that transportation charges. So they were 5,000. Now you have called an engineer or mechanic to install that machine. So the installation charges are 3,000. Now if I am asking what is the cost of that machine, so could you please tell me the cost of machine to you? Means machine आपको कितने में पड़ा installation के बाद? Yes, cost of machine. Yes, what is the cost of machine to you? Please tell me. Very good, Samay. 5 lakh was the purchase price. 5,000 you have paid for transportation. Very good, everyone. And 3,000 you have paid for installation. So the actual price of machine to you is 5 lakh 8,000. Okay. So the expenses which are done to make the machine usable or to make the machine ready to use, all those expenses are not recorded separately in the books of account. Those expenses will be the part of the cost of machine. So for making payment of all these two expenses, whether it is the transportation of machine or the installation charges of the machine, so we are not going to write the installation charges account debit. Why? Because expenses are debited only when they are of recurring nature, regular nature. We are making payment again and again on regular time. But installation charges are one-time payment. Every month we need not to pay the installation charges. Similarly, the transportation charges are also the one-time payment. At the time of transportation of machine, we have paid, not again and again we will be making payment of these transportation charges. So these both the expenses will be written in the machine account. So for this, these expenses, we are going to write machinery account debit because machine is an asset and we are making payment. So the bank or the cash. If this payment is paid through check, then the bank, otherwise cash. And what the price will be written? 5 lakh 8,000. It means if any expenses are paid in relation to the purchase of that asset, any brokerage is paid, any commission is paid to any commission agent for the purchase of that asset, then we need not to show that expenses separately. Those expenses will become the part of the cost of machine. So those expenses will be debited in that particular asset account, okay, not in that expense account. So this is known as the capital expenditures, not the revenue expenditures. Okay. So like here in third entry in illustration number 16, you can see the third entry in illustration number 16. So what is the third entry? Purchased a machine by giving a check of 3 lakh and paid 25,000 in cash as wages on its installation. It means you have purchased the machine total for rupees 3 lakh and you have also paid its wages. Wages is rupees 25,000. So I'm waiting for your answer. Just give me answer in chat box, please. What will be the journal entry in this case? How you will be showing the installation wages in the journal entry? Yes. Yes, please tell. I'm waiting for your answer, dear all. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Good, very good understanding. Yes, we have purchased a machinery. So you can see that machine account is involved here. Just let's analyze the transaction. One account is machine. Okay, machine. Then you have make payment through check. So bank account is also there. And you have paid 25,000 in cash. So cash account is also there. So some students may assume that the wages are also there, but I told you when wages are paid on the installation of machine, then that amount will be added in the machine cost. So we are not going to show it separately. Very good, Ishita and Siddhi. Very good, beta. So machine cost is 3 lakh plus 25,000, which we have paid for wages, and bank 3 lakh and cash 25,000. Now analyze. Machine is an asset. Yes, machine is an asset. Bank is also an asset. Cash is also an asset. Now, which asset is increasing? Which is decreasing? Machine is increasing. Yes. Bank balance is decreasing. Cash balance is also decreasing because we are making payment. So the asset increases, debited. Asset decreases, credited. Asset decreases, credited. So what will be the journal entry? This will be the format. Whenever you are passing any journal entry, you need to pass in format only. Okay. So journal entry, machine is debited because in our analysis, we found that the machinery account will be debited. Machine account debited to bank account to cash account. So bank account by 3 lakh and cash account by 25,000 and machine account by 3 lakh 25,000. And the narration will be being machinery purchased and installation wages paid. Installation wages paid. You cannot write this narration in the figure column, in the amount column. Here space is a little bit less, so that's why I have written. But please don't write the narration in the amount column. So this is about the complete entry. Please tell me, is it clear? Yes, is it clear? Very good, everyone who has given me answer. Yes, Khushi, Himanshu, Samay, everyone has given me answer. Very good, beta. So now let's do one more question in relation to such type of transaction. So four entries I have told you today. Uh, yes. Next, fifth part. Fifth part. Purchased an old machine of the similar type. One more transaction we are doing. Purchased an old machine. Fifth part of the question. Machine. Again, we have purchased the machine for what amount? 1 lakh. Okay. Then spent rupees 5,000 on its carriage. Carriage means transportation. Okay. Transportation charges or carriage charges. Rupees 5,000. And rupees 20,000 on it immediate repairs. Means the machine was old, second-hand machine we are purchasing. So it was needing some repairs to make it usable. So any expense which we are incurring to make the particular asset usable or to make it ready for use, then that particular expenses will be added in the cost. So repair rupees 20,000. Now, and the payment is made through check. So now again, these two will be added in the cost of machine itself. Why? because these expenses were spent on the machine to make it usable, to make it ready for use. Okay, so now two accounts are there: machinery account, debit. In format you need to write to bank. Very good. All those who have given me answer, they are very much correct. Yes, very good. So 1,05,000 and what else figure? What is the other figure? 20,000. Sorry, it was 20. I assume it 2,000. So 1,25,000 to bank. Now let's make it little bit twisted. Now suppose your machine has started working because you have spent money on this machine. After 3 months, there was a breakdown in machine. Now you have called up one mechanic and that mechanic charged 10,000 rupees for repairing the machine. But that happened after 2 months. Initially the machine was doing work and still 2 months it has worked, but after 2 months there was a problem in machine. Then again you have called upon a repairing mechanic and who repaired the machine and charged 10,000 rupees for the repair of the machine. So now what will be the entry? Yes, what will be the entry? Just think about. Yes, very good, Siddhi. It cannot be added in the cost of machine. Now it is the expense for you. So whenever the asset starts working, so this is the differentiation. Whenever the asset starts working, then after it's working, if anything happens through that particular asset, and to maintain that asset in a working position, whatever the amount we are spending, that will be debited in that particular expense account, not to the asset account. But if the amount is spent before the asset has started the working, whether it is repairing or it is a carriage, transportation, any expense, installation, then that expense will be added in the cost of that machine. So now not the machine account will be debited, repair account debited, because it's the recurring expense. Again and again there will be need of maintenance of the machine, so we need to spend repair expenses on regular basis. So repair account debit to cash. If we have paid through check, then to bank, suppose 10,000. So please make it clear that when to debit in the asset account and when to debit in the expense account. So am I clear with today's concept?